Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Jai Radha Madhava Sundarbhari Jai Radha Madhava All glories to assembled devotees. All glories to assembled devotees. All glories to assembled devotees. All glories to Shri Guru and Shri Shri Guru Bhutale Ayam Rupakamakyam Dadati Sudarantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yudapadakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavanscha Shri Rupam Sarvadatam Sahaganaragunakanvitam Sajivam Advaitam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahaganalita Shri Vishakhanvidamscha Namo Vishnupada Krishna Prasthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swami Nitinamane Namaste Saraswate Deve Bhagavani Pracharine Nirvisheshishanyavadi Paschatya Deshadarine Panchakalpadalubhyasya Sindhubhya Evacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namah Jai Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Srivasadi Gaura Bhaktavinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Welcome all of you for the Srimad Bhagavatam class this morning. You can see that picture on the screen. That is Kalayavana chasing after Lord Vasudeva. We discussed this episode yesterday. The one before that, we discussed Jarasandha chasing after Krishna Balaram. So, I want to share a few words about Kalyavana's chase after Krishna. One specific word was used in that series of verses. The word Paramukha was shown, which means the Lord Krishna did not display his beautiful face in front of Kalyavana. Although Kalyavana noticed the features of Lord Vasudeva's body, he had a four-headed form which with the conch and lotus and mace and wheel in the Lord's hands. He saw the beautiful helmet and the beautiful earrings and eyes like lotus petals, and Lord had a Srivats, golden hair in his chest, very beautiful jewelry in his body, and dazzling pitambar dhoti. All was noticed by Kalyavana, and he ascertained that the Vasudeva that Narada was speaking about is the same person. So he understood that here is a combat for me. So he developed a desire to fight with the Lord. And Jigrish's tongue, it is said, which means he wanted to crush the Lord. He saw that his Lord is not using his weapons, so he also put his weapon aside and started running behind the Lord. So that was one word used, Paramukam. Lord turned his face away from him, because in the Bhagavad Gita, Lord says that he does not show himself to those who are averse to him. This is a very important thing. Prabhupada says in many of his lectures, Ishtosime, Dridabhiti, Idam Pakshami Tehitam. Arjuna, I am speaking this Bhagavad Gita to you because you are Ishtosi, you are very dear to me, Krishna says. And he also says, Bhaktosime, Sakha Cheti. You are my friend, Sakha. You are my Bhakta, you are my devotee. So Prabhupada says, when two drunkards come, they talk about a different brand liquor. Similarly, when two very old people come, they talk about health issues. How is your health? Which doctor you are going to? Are you doing homeopathy or naturopathy or allopathy, except Lakshmipathy or allopathy? Krishna Katha there. The lowering sound is about what is your rate, what is my rate, how much money you want, how much money I had. This is the kind of dialogue talks they will do. So everywhere you find people are talking, business people are talking. Early morning, the birds are talking. The market business people are talking about money and everything. But when two personalities like Krishna and Arjuna come, naturally the talk is going to be a talk about the devotion to Lord. Arjuna is expressing his devotion to Krishna, and Krishna is revealing more and more about himself to Arjuna. So um, now the relevance of this point to our lives, um, I clearly remember in my early days of Krishna consciousness, my emphasis would be more on how to tackle Maya, how to control the mind, how to control the senses. This is a very intellectual subject. But as some years progressed, we heard the pastimes of the Lord, and then the pastimes of the Lord became very enlivening and interesting to discuss the pastimes of the Lord and hear the pastimes of the Lord and religious beauty, religious qualities, religious pastimes. Um, so, so we can we can also check what is our emphasis in our, because there is anartha nivritti and there is artha pravritti. Anartha nivritti means we want to get rid of our impurities. Artha pravritti means we want to absorb our mind in name, form, qualities, pastimes, and activities of the Lord. So His Holiness Shivaram Swami Maharaja, he uses two specific words for this too. He uses iron weight and gold weight, he says. Iron weight is studying about material nature, about time factor, three modes of material nature, about karma theory, studying about gunas. So, kala, karma, guna, prakriti, Ishvara in this world. Studying about all these things is called as iron weight. And this is how we all have to begin our studies of the scriptures. When we study them deeply, we develop a fear. Oh, Khana is so powerful, it is all devouring. Karma is so powerful, it chases after birth after birth. The gunas, three gunas are so mighty. They are like helpless tender creatures in front of the three gunas. So one is sufficiently made humble by discussing these subjects. And in front of the material nature, when we are faced with the wrath of the material nature, we feel ourselves insignificant and incompetent to face the material nature. At that time, it will impel us to surrender to the Lord. Mami vi prapadyante, mayami tam parantite, Lord says. So then we develop an interest to know more about the Lord. And that is a very beautiful knowledge, how Krishna is merciful. He says in one verse, Matchitta sarva durgani mat prasada tarishyasi ataccheto ahankaram nashoshyasi vinakshasi. Arjuna, Matchitta sarva durgani mat prasada tarishyasi. If you depend on me and become my devotee, you will cross over all the difficulties in your spiritual life by my mercy, he says. Mat prasada tarishyasi, you will become free. I assure you, provided you take devotion service very seriously. So you will see that you give an excuse to Krishna why you cannot practice spiritual life, and Krishna will immediately knock out that excuse. If somebody says, Krishna, I am low born, I says, immediately he says, Mam vivata davashati yevisyu papa yoniyas riyo vaishya sadashudra teyapi anti parangati. He's saying, you may belong to any caste, creed, color, nationality, there is no limitation, I accept everybody. I welcome one and all. Somebody says, no, I'm a great sinner. I don't think I can touch Bhagavad Gita or I can put my foot in the temple. Some people say, Krishna immediately says, Apichet Sudaracharo Bhajatema Ananyabha. Even if my devotee has slipped from his standards of devotion service and he is deeply remorseful and repentant, Krishna says, I treat him as a devotee and I welcome him back to my lotus feet. He says. Or somebody may say that I don't have so much money to practice devotion service. Patram pushpam phalam toyam, he says. Just offer me a leaf or a flower or a fruit or water. And I don't demand any money from you, he says. So somebody may say that that's all right, my Lord. You see, I have to set up my material life, I have to build a home, I have to accumulate some bank balance, and then I can come to devotion service. And Krishna immediately says, Yoga Kshemam Ahamyam. I preserve what you have and I provide what you lack. You just do my devotion service, I will take care of you. He said, you don't have to separately make an effort strenuous effort to put up your material life. For my devotee, material life follows spiritual life like a shadow. No? Like that he says. So, um, somebody may say, I don't have much, my Lord, I am like poor Lama Brahmana. Yat karoshi, yat ashnasi, yat johoshi, dadasi, yat. He's saying that whatever you have, whatever you offer, whatever you give away, do it as an offering to me. He says, Shleshle karmani abhirata samsiddhim lavate nara. Swakarmana athamapir abhyarchya siddhim vinati manava. He says that whatever work you do, you tell me, I will teach you how to give your fruits away to me. So in 11.55 Bhagavad Gita, Prabhupada says that a poor man can just take a piece of land, small land in his house, and then grow some flowers and offer it to Krishna. And Krishna will be satisfied with him. And a rich man can build a big temple and make a good facility for preaching and propagating Krishna consciousness. So a rich man, poor man, both can serve Krishna, he says. So nobody can say that I am not fit for serving Krishna. Nobody can say that. Somebody may say, no, I am just a small child. It's time for me to play now. When I grow up, I will do devotion service. Lord says, even Prahlad is a 5-year-old boy. Dhruva is a 5-year-old boy. Narada in his previous life was a 5-year-old servant by his son. So, your age is no bar for you. Economic bracket is no bar. Age is no bar. Gender is no bar. Everybody can come to me. So, one amazing thing with devotional service is the doors are open for everyone to become devotee, but not for the demons. That's the most important thing. Although the Lord is so lenient, so welcoming, so accommodating, so approachable, so easily accessible for all living beings, he is not accessible to the demoniac. And let us see the reasons why. Here in the case of this fellow, this Kalyavana, who was chasing after Krishna, the Bhagavatam itself, it is mentioned that he was a sinner. He was a mlecha. Actually, Prabhupada explains that those who are sinners, they are envious of God. And they feel that why Krishna is given so much respect? Why not me? You all may be aware, Shishupal, he could not tolerate Krishna being glorified for Agra Puja post. Agra means the foremost. The position of foremost personality in that entire assembly of Rajswaya was given to one personality, which is Krishna. Yudhishthira Maharaj had chosen, Bhishma had approved, and all the sages and saints, everybody said, go in, Lord Govinda ki jai, everybody said. And then he was put on that elevated seat, his feet was washed, and Abhishekam was done, and Shishupal was keeping mum, keeping quiet and watching, staring at Krishna with envious eyes. When the proceedings were taken ahead, at one point of time, Shishupal started blabbering several blasphemies against Krishna. He said he is just a mere coward boy. He lives in a rustic village of Braja. And nobody can ascertain his caste, whether he is a Vaishya or a Kshatriya. Some people say he is born of Kshatriya clan. Somebody says he is born of Vaishyas like Nanda and Yashoda. Nobody knows his caste. How can somebody like that, whose even caste is not known, be respected in an assembly, given a high seat of honor? This guy, he is this, he is that. I don't want to even say what all he said. And the 99 blasphemies he gave. And Krishna was very patiently letting him, dig his own grave, Shishupal. Until when he crossed 100, his head was cut off by Krishna's chakra. The point is, people like Shishupal, or scholars and commentators who are atheistic fellows, they use Krishna's Bhagavad Gita for their own popularity, but they misinterpret and misconstrue meaning out of it, which only demons can understand, Prabhupada says. So the demons are filled with hatred for the Lord. In 1.8.36, I think, 1.8.36, there Prabhupada says that Karna, Duryodhana, Dushasana, they all saw Krishna eye to eye, but they could not see Krishna properly. They could not see Krishna with love. They could not see Krishna with eye of respect. They thought of him to be one amongst them. Maybe they thought he's a powerful person, he's a very intelligent person, maybe he's a diplomat, he's a smart fellow. They thought he's very handsome because he has done some punya in the past. They thought like that. There's one organization which says that Krishna and Rama have done a lot of punya, so they got handsome body, like that. So these are all foolish people. So such people, Krishna will not allow them access to approach because they consider, Prabhupada says, why should Krishna encourage the competition? Prabhupada says in one of his lectures. And these people, like there was one fellow called Vasudeva, with this Paundraka. He also dressed up himself like Vasudeva and declared himself to be God. He said, I am the real original Vasudeva, and that Vasudeva is a fake, he was saying. Actually, he himself was a fake. He had attached it to cardboard hands, additionally to claim to be Vasudeva. So there have been cheaters like that in the past, but in the present also. There are so many cheap incarnations and all. So when this Kale, when I wanted to catch Krishna, Krishna thought in his mind that I don't want to be touched by this sinner, so I will run away. But he didn't run away fast. That is the beauty of Krishna's pastimes. Krishna's pastimes are so amazing and charming to the heart of the devotees because hasta praptam eva, it is said. Krishna was only one hand arm distance. This fellow thought, I'm about to catch him, like that he thought. And Krishna led him ahead, went on running, slowly but surely progressing. He was trying to catch him. And then Krishna led him to a cave where Krishna had already made his mind what he is going to do. See, Lord's intentions cannot be understood by anybody except himself. Only sometimes he reveals to his pure devotees. But common people cannot understand what is the intention with which Lord is coming to some particular place. Like when Vamanadev came as a small dwarf Brahmana, carrying an umbrella, carrying a kamandalu in the hand, very effulgent Brahman. Everybody got up and saluted him, offered him obeisances. And everybody wondered, who is this Brahman who is so effulgent, so attractive, so charming? So he's coming with certain intention. He's asking for 3 steps. And then he's taking over all the 3 worlds in 3 steps. That intention was only known to him. Even Shukracharya, such a wise personality, he said, this is Sakshat Supreme Lord Vishnu. But I don't know his intentions. Maybe what he will do, even I cannot say, he said. Even he couldn't ascertain exactly what he will do. Such a beauty of Lord's pastimes. In his pastimes, Lord will behave in such a way that later on, when we read the recorded histories of Lord's pastimes in scriptures, devotees become very charmed by Lord's behavior. And the amazing thing is, each pastime is unique in itself. There is one pastime in Srimad Bhagavatam you will read. There was one Kalaya, there was one another Maya Dharava. Maya Dharava is also a demon. So this demon was a very tricky demon, very intelligent demon. What he would do, he had a huge army of Rakshasas, demoniac soldiers. And they were fighting a war against Devatas, demigods. So the demigods observed that every time demigods they kill one demon, this fellow would put them in a pond of sweet rice. And then they would become alive. And again they would fight the battle. That was one problem they faced. Whomever we are killing, they again revive back to life. Another problem was, there were 3 planes up in the sky. And this Maya Danava would post all his soldiers in those planes, from where they will hurl down the weapons from the top. And oftentimes these 3 planes were little invisible because of a magical trick. So that made it very difficult for the demigods. The demigods thought that if this fellow is going to hide behind the clouds and using the magical tricks, all these demons are going. Imagine, for example, from the clouds, weapons are falling at you. What can you do? It was very difficult. So at that time, Lord Shiva was approached by the demigods because Shiva is the most powerful. Shiva came in a chariot. They took his bow and arrow. And then he would send continuously volleys of arrows. And of course, he could kill hundreds and thousands of demons. But then he was repeatedly reviving them back to life, so much so that even Shiva got tired. Like Arjuna got tired, similarly Shiva got tired. Shiva put his bow and arrow and he said, what can I do? I don't think I'll be able to, do anything with this fellow. This is like a futile attempt. I am killing, again he's reviving. I am killing, I am reviving. And the three Purams are there and I am not able to do anything. So at that time, Lord Krishna took pity. So suddenly in that battle arena, something miraculous happened for everyone to see. Mayadana was watching one beautiful cow and calf combination. They arrived there, and the cow, was not nodding the head like this, and they're walking. You've seen these girt cows in Gujarat. You've seen they look very beautiful. Big cows, large size cows, but they're very mild natured, completely mild natured, soft animal that is. That's the kind of cow which stands behind Krishna. You must have seen in some of the pictures, correct? No? So that cow, along with the beautiful tender calf, both of them, a mother and child, were coming. And this is a very strange thing in a war to see. Because in a war ground, how will you see a cow and calf coming? It's a very dangerous place to come. They may be killed also. But both of them came walking very fast. And Mayadana was watching. He didn't know what these two guys are up to. Why are they coming here? Straight away, they came to the sweet rice pond and started drinking it fast. And he was watching. He couldn't do anything to them. And they sucked it completely. Not even a drop was left. Now all the soldiers were killed, could not be revived. And they were dead and dead and dead. And the dead bodies of the demons were piling up. And Lord Shiva again picked up the bow and arrow, became pretty confident now. Now he killed all the asuras in the three planes. Therefore, his name came to be called as Tripurari. Tripura Ari. Ari means anyway. And then Shiva and demigods could understand these two cow and calf combination was none other than Vishnu and Brahma. Brahma was the calf and Vishnu was the cow. So this is how Lord performs pastimes. In Padma Purana, there is a verse which says, Mad Bhakta Vinodartam Karomi Vividaha Kriyaha. He says, for my delight of my devotees, I perform various pastimes, he says. So devotees feel very delighted to see such pastimes. So, in the same manner, here, Lord did a very funny thing. He didn't let him touch, but at the same time, he didn't run far away also. Led him, gradually led him further and further and further and further up to the cave. And then instead of he killing him, he made Kalayavana be burned down by the vision of Machukunda, who was sleeping in the cave. At the same time, one more lesson we learn apart from the killing of the Kalayavana. Regarding Kalayavana chasing after Krishna, Prabhupada says that great yogis sitting in Himalayas who are completely sense-controlled, mind-controlled, and who can travel at the speed of mind, even they cannot capture Lord by their meditation, he says. At the most, they can see the tip of the toenail of his lotus feet. But they cannot dance with him in the pastures of Vrindavan as the covered boys do or covered girls do. So, therefore, the position of Gopas and Gopis is most exalted in the entire creation. Pantastu koti shatavatsara sampragamyo vayo ratapi manaso munipungapana sopyasti yat pravadasimya vichintya tattve govindam Adi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami. Brahmaji is telling that not only Munis, Muni Pungava means the leaders of the Munis, the leaders of great rishis and saints living in the Himalayan jungle, even they are not able to capture the Lord in their hearts. And they are not able to capture by traveling at the speed of mind, he says. Whereas you will find the third pastime we were planning to discuss today was Yashoda. Yashoda is running behind the Lord and she could capture the Lord. So before we go to that, one or two lessons I wanted to say in the Kalayavana pastime. Lord Krishna's body is transcendental. You know that Janma Karma Chame Divyam. So how it is Divyam or divine? See, the word divine in English comes from Divyam, Sanskrit word. Divya has become divine. You see the similarity? D-I-V. The V comes from Divyam. So how it is divine has to be understood. In this pastime, you see that the same eyes with which Muchukunda saw Kalayavana and burned down his body, he used the same eyes to look at the form of Vasudeva, Lord. But he could not burn the Lord's body down because it is spiritual body. Rather, his own eyes became diminished in vision, and he admitted it honestly. When he saw the Lord, he asked, "Who are you?" Go Bhavan, ye samprapto girivare, vipina kandare. Like that, he said that you're standing on a lotus, your whole body is shining, you look so handsome and elegant looking. Are you sun god? Are you moon god? Are you Agni? Or are you Vayu or Varuna? Or you are the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Lord Vishnu? Who are you? Please reveal yourself to me. And then he revealed about his own identity to him, to Lord, and then asked the Lord for his name and his birth and family lineage and all that he asked him. So in this way, you can see that Lord cannot be subjected to laws which are applied upon the conditioned souls in this world. Like here, conditioned souls will be burned down with their Panchamahabhut body made up of earth, water, fire, or ether. Whereas the Lord's body was not burned. That's another lesson in this pastime we can learn that. So, and one more lesson we learned from this pastime is that I will show you that series of verses. The Parang Mokama I showed you. This is what okay, I'll show you that this thing. I'll share it. You can see that. Itanishchitya yavanaha pradravat tam parang mukham anupadavat divrichastam durapam api yoginam. It says here like that. Correct, no? Okay. So now this is about Lord turned his face away from Kalayavana. Whereas I will show you another verse. As the Lord ran to the cave, there Muchukunda is seeing. And Muchukunda saw the Lord. There's a description. Again, it's going to come now. Man awoke, awakened, man awakened. Here it comes. It's about Kalayavana's watching the Lord description is given here. There's a similar set of verses which will come later, which Muchukunda is seeing the Lord. So, okay, the words used there is prarthitam pracharam purvam. Prarthitam. This is the one. Here the Lord is saying, we'll recite this verse. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskritya Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayam Udiraye. Ashtaprayeshu abhadreshu nityam bhagavata sevaya bhagavatyuttama shloke bhaktir bhavati naishtiki. Krishnaya Vasudevaya Devaki Nandanaya cha Nandagopa Kumaraya Govindaya Namo Namah. Soham tavanugrahartham guhametam upagatah prartita prachuram purvam payaham bhaktavatsalaha. So he's saying, you wanted to see me in your previous life, my dear Muchukunda. Tava anugrahartam, to show my grace upon you, guhame tam upagataha, I have come to this cave. Prartita, prachuram, purvam, you intensely prayed to attain me in your previous life. Tvayaham bhaktavatsalaha, because I am a bhaktavatsala, I am a lover of my devotees and I care for my devotees. Therefore, I have come here to wake you up and give you my darshan. So here's an interesting phenomenon. Kalyapana is wide awake, Lord is not giving his darshan to him. He turned his face away. This fellow is sleeping, he woke him up and gave him darshan. What do we learn by this? That means if you have done your homework, Lord will wake you up and give you darshan. If we haven't done our homework, then even if we chase after him, we cannot see him. That's the lesson here. So, this way, Lord was ready to give him benedictions, the Muchukunda. So, the Lord was actually remembering Muchukunda's devotion to him. He did not forget it, which means generally we all tend to forget after a few years. Yeah. So here it says that the Lord is giving a darshan to Muchukunda. This is very similar yet different. I'll show you how it is different. Here he will recite this series of verses also. Just like our that fellow was saying, our Kalyavana was seeing the Lord. Here also there is a similar description about Muchukunda seeing the Lord. Tam alokya ghanashyamam pita kausheya vasasam Shrivatsa vakshasam brajat kaustubhena virajitam. Very simple meaning, right? Tam alokya. Muchukunda is seeing the Lord. Ghanashyamam. Lord's body is bluish, glossy blue. And Pita Kausheya Vasasam. Lord is wearing a dhoti which is dazzling golden color. And Shrivatsa golden hair is in his chest. And he's wearing a Kaustuva jewel in his chest. Chatur Bhujam Rochamanam. The four hands were very beautiful looking. Vaijayantya Chamalaya. Lord was wearing a garland of 5 forest flowers. Charu Prasanna Vadanam. And his face was a smiling face. Swaran Makara Kundalam. Makara Kundalam. See here, there it is at Parangmukham. Whereas here the Lord is showing him Charu Prasanna Vadanam. He will be showing his face to him. Swaran Makara Kundalam, the Lord was wearing a sharp-shaped earrings. Prekshaniyam Dilokasya Sanuragasmite Kshanam Apivya Vayasam Matta Mrigendro Dara Vikramam. Here you see it said Prekshaniyam. There it was said Darshaniyam. Darshaniyam means worthy of taking darshan. Here in the same manner, the word Prekshaniyam is used, worthy of taking look continuously. Nrulokasi, in this entire creation, there is no one so handsome like the Lord. And Sa Anuraga Smitekshanam. The Lord was glancing at this Muchukunda, Smita Ikshana. Ikshana means eyes glancing. Smita means smiling. So he was smiling and glancing at him. Sa Anuraga, with great affection to him. 3 words are used there. Affectionately, smilingly, and lovingly he was glancing at him. Like that it is said. Whereas there it is said, Parang, his face away, it is said. Correct, no? Yeah. Apipya Vayasam. He appeared like a young 16-year-old youngster. Mattam Mrigendro Dara Vikramam. He looked like the lion with his hairs, seen, like that Lord had curly locks of hair. Like that. Paryaprachan Mahabuddhis Tejasa Tasya Darshitaha Shankita Sanakai Raja Durdarsham Yiva Tejasa. So the Lord's tejas was so great that the king's eyes were not able to see that. Just like if sun is coming, out of the cloud and you see it, you can't see it properly. You close your eyes. Like that, the king was affected by the tejas of the Lord's effulgence, he says, like that. So in this way, you can see how powerful is Lord's personality. So therefore, I compared this Paramukam and Smitekshanam. If we approach Krishna in the mood of Arjuna, then Lord will lovingly glance at us. And therefore the Lord says, Raja Vidya, Raja Guhyam, Pavitram, Idamuttamam. So the mood of Arjuna is that, you are Parabrahma, Paramdhama, Pavitram, Paramam Bhavan. So Arjuna accepts Krishna, whatever Krishna spoke, he accepted. And our questions also asked with great respect. Like he said, how am I to understand that you were contemporary of Sun God, Krishna? Because you and I are contemporaries. How am I to understand that Katametad Vijaniya Pamado Praptavanati? He doesn't say that, hey Krishna, why are you fooling me? I'm not going to be cheated by you. He doesn't say that. He says, whatever you're saying is true, Krishna, but how am I to understand? So very submissively, Arjuna is asking questions to Krishna. And also Arjuna respects Krishna's intelligence. Arjuna respects Krishna's godhood. Arjuna respects Krishna's greatness. So with that kind of climate of consciousness, only we can approach Krishna. Therefore, in the beginning of Bhagavad Gita, Prabhupada says, at least one should theoretically accept Krishna to be the supreme personality of Godhead based on the statements of Acharyas like Shankaracharya, Madhvacharya, Sripad Ramanujacharya, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and Vyasa, Asita, Devala, Narada, and such personalities. If somebody has no respect for Krishna's supremacy or greatness, then his reading of Bhagavad Gita is simply an eyewash. It will not be very useful. People just keep aside Krishna Arjuna far away, and then they try to interpret on Bhagavad Gita by their own words. So such people will not be able to do any good to the world. He says. So now the third pastime I wanted to show you. Yes, you're seeing it? Yeah. See, here, this is another pastime of Yashoda running after Krishna. I will not get into the detail of the pastime, but you all know this pastime which happened on Diwali day, Damodar pastime. The self-satisfied becomes hungry. Why? Because Krishna is called Atmaram, but he became Stanyakam. Stanya means he became hungry for drinking the breast milk from Yashoda. All the contradictions are resolved in this pastime. The absolute truth has no hankering for anything, but where there is love, even he hankers. Like Krishna is not hungry for milk, but he is hungry for the milk from Yashoda's body because she has touched Krishna's heart by her Vatsalya Bhava, a motherly affection. So Krishna is aspiring to that. Similarly, the peace personified becomes angry. So here the Lord lying in the Anandashesha, there is one prayer by Brahma. He says that, my dear Lord, in this world, people like to sleep in a calm room where there is no noise. But you are sleeping in the middle of ocean where the waves are roaring. Correct, no? Similarly, people like to sleep in a very nice, comfortable bed. Properly, they make the bed and sleep. But your bed is not so comfortable. You are sleeping on a snake bed, which has got snake coils twisted and turned. Is it comfortable to lie down in that? Not only not comfortable, that too, it is what? It's a snake. Huh? Will you lie on a snake? Any of you here think about it? Huh? Not only you are lying on an uncomfortable bed, but you are lying on a snake bed. And that too, there are thousands of hoods watching from the top. You can see that. Who can sleep? Because he knows this snake is none other than his own brother, uh, Lord Sankarshan. So Lord is intimately connected to Sankarshan. So Lord is lying peacefully on Sankarshan's body. Mm-hmm. So he says that, and people generally close their eyes and go to sleep, but your eyes are semi-closed. You are in a state of yoga nidra. And how do you sleep in the midst of the ocean like this? Only you can do such pastimes. Like the Brahmaji in one prayer, he says that. So this Lord is known for his peace because once Bhrigu came and kicked his chest, you know that? And then Lord Vishnu got off from the snake bed and massaged the feet of Bhrigu saying that, oh sage, your feet are so soft and my chest is so hard. Maybe you will feel pain, let me massage your feet. And Bhrigu cried out, seeing the tolerance of the Lord. So, therefore, is peace personified. But when he came as Krishna, he becomes angry. Sanjata kopam, it is said. Why anger arose in Krishna? Because Yashoda left him and went to kitchen to attend to the milk. So he became angry. So, see, peace personified becomes angry. See, Yashoda is, of course, she is the only one who can chastise him. With her hands, she's showing like this, you can see. The wealthiest thief I've ever seen in this world. Any person who is, actually, Lord is the wealthiest personality, correct? He's not Lakpati, Arapati, Karapati, he's a Lakshmipati, but he becomes a thief in the homes of gopis, stealing butter. Even in his own home, he steals. You can see here, Yashoda is coming with a stick now. Time personified please and fear. This is the picture I want to show you. When Yashoda saw that Krishna is very naughty, he has broken the pots, he has given milk to he has given butter to the monkeys and the friends, and he himself ate it and spat it all around the house and spoiled the floor there. Yashoda wanted to correct her child. Actually, her intention was that my son should not speak lies and my son should not be mischievous and naughty. And I want to train my child. That is her mood. So when she came to Krishna, she chastised him. She said, she called him as a Roshakranta. She said, you are a forest dweller, you are a monkey lover, you are a perpetual liar. Like that, many names she called her. So when Krishna heard those names, she said, not only you are a butter stealer, you are also a lie speaker. You also speak lies. Because why he spoke lies? He told Mother Yashoda that this butter pot was not broken by me. It was broken by you only. He said, really? How did I break it? He said the women in India, they wear something in the fingers they wear. Bichiya they call it. Round one they wear. Like ring we wear here, similarly the fingers of the feet they wear. So he told his mother, when you suddenly got up, you were, see, Yashoda is wearing it. You are seeing that? See, in her right leg you will find. You see? In this two fingers she is wearing. You're seeing it? Here I can see it in this feet, you can see. So he says, when you got up, that hit the pot and therefore it started pouring out like that he was telling. So Yashoda said, not only you're a stealer, you're also a liar. and you're a monkey lover. You're a forest dweller, like that she called. So Krishna said, "Oh Ma, you're saying I am a forest dweller, so I'll go and live in forest," he said. At that time she became very worried. She thought that, my Lord, if my child runs away to forest, where will I go and search him? Therefore, she decided to bind him. Her intention was to bind him for that purpose. So, but then Krishna was running away to the street. Why he ran to the street? Because his notion was that if I run to the street, nobody, in front of others, she can't beat me. Because it's people will say that, why are you beating an innocent child? They will say, I can draw sympathy on the road. That was his intention. See, all the gopis are watching, cows are also watching that. But then Yashoda said, I won't beat you outside, I'll capture you and bring you inside. So she caught Krishna and then brought him inside the house here. So the fastest becomes caught. Krishna is the fastest runner. And there is a verse in the Ishopanishad which says, Anejadekam manaso javiyo nainat deva apnuvan purvamarshat tadhavato jnanat ketidishtat tasmin napo matarishva dadati. That's the verse. Tad ejadi, tad nejadi, tad dure, tad bantike. So these verses say that Lord is the fastest runner. Even all the demigods cannot catch up with him. But here in this pastime, although he's the fastest personality, he got caught by Yashoda's love. So, see, the condensed bliss cries. Somebody is condensed bliss, but how can one cry? That's only possible. See, all Yashoda's friends are watching. This is a very beautiful picture here. See? The object of prayers gets scolded. On the left side, you find is the object of all prayers. All sages, Asito, Devaro, Vyaso, Swayam, Cheva, Guru Vishnu, they are all worshipping him, offering wonderful prayers at his lotus feet. But here, that same Lord is being scolded by Yashoda. And behind Yashoda, you can see some coward boys are near the tree watching this. Coward boys have been encouraging Krishna, go ahead, Krishna, Yashoda can't do anything to you. Now, seeing that Lord is bound, now they can't do anything, they are helpless now. The Supreme Judge awaits judgment. Because Yashoda told that, you open your mouth, I want to find out whether you ate mud. So she is the judge and Krishna becomes judged by her. Yeah, attempt to. This is the pastime, very beautiful pastime. Here is the point. Why could Kalayavana not capture Krishna and Yashoda could capture Krishna? Here is the reasoning given here. Bhaktanishta, firm faith of the devotees seen in tireless endeavors to serve and worship Krishna. And Swanishta means steady quality in Krishna which brings forth his mercy upon seeing the devotees' efforts. Yeah. In the absence of these two, the rope will remain 2 fingers too short. That means devotee's endeavor and Lord's grace combination. Devotee's endeavor is called Bhaktanishta. And Lord's grace is called Swanishta. There is a steady quality in Krishna that if he sees the devotee's effort, Lord becomes very pleased. So Matosmin Nagatraya Visrastakavarasya Drishtva Parishramam Krishna Kripayasi Swabandhane. It says, the Lord agreed to be bound by looking at Yashoda's perspiration on her forehead and cheeks, and her hair was disheveled, flower had fallen down. And he looked at his mother very pitifully. He thought, look at my mother, how much she loves me. She wants to bind me. So I will not make her tired even much more than this. Enough of her efforts now. Let me get bound. And that's how he got bound. The liberator in bondage. He liberated Nalakuramani. Yeah, nevertheless, he could not be liberated from the grinding mortar. Yeah. So this is a very beautiful pastime of Yashoda Damodar. So it teaches us many valuable lessons. You can see devotees hand over the ropes of their life to the Lord, like Arjuna, for example, is handing over the ropes of his chariot to Krishna. Says to Krishna that you take me, my Lord, wherever you want. You order me what I should do. and accordingly I will fight. So devotees hand over the ropes of the life to Lord, and Lord hands over the ropes of his life to devotees. Like Yashoda got ropes by which she bound Krishna. So in the pastime of Yashoda Damodar, Lord becomes subordinate. And in the case of Krishna Arjuna, Arjuna agreed to be guided by Krishna. Shishyastya ham shadi mam tvam prapanami, surrender to Krishna completely. So in this way, surrendering to one another, the Lord and the devotee relish many pastimes. And that's where Lord can be captured. That's where Lord can be bound. That is where Lord can be subdued. There are two words used in Sanskrit. Ajitam means inconquerable. Parajitam means conquered. The unconquerable Lord gets conquered, it is said. So let me take some 5 minutes questions or discussions. Anybody? Yeah. So I had given the, I had given the heading. What heading I gave for this 3-day series? Stunning lessons from running Krishna. All are running, and all the 3 pastimes involve Krishna's running. Correct, no? The one was about, what is the first one? Krishna running away from Kalayavana. Sorry, Jarasandha. Second day we discussed about Krishna running away from Kalayavana. Third day, Krishna running away from Yashoda. But out of the 3, which is odd man out? Yashoda. Yeah, odd woman out. Yashoda is odd man out example because other 2 are envious fellows. And Yashoda's heart is full of devotion, full of love. That's one main difference. Another difference is that both the guys couldn't capture Krishna, but Yashoda could capture. That's another difference. Yes.
Mother Yashoda is seeing the exemplary behavior of Krishna, like when she sees the open your mouth, she sees the entire Brahman in his mouth, right? In his mouth, and she's seen other pastimes also. And I think she never really appreciates or realizes that he is the supreme personality of God.
And even if she does, that's only momentary.
Right.
Because as soon as she closes the mouth, she starts seeing him as her darling. She starts treating him like a baby. She cannot remember that for a long time out of intense love. So therefore, the love in Nanda and Yashoda is so great that it's oceanic love that it subdues Krishna's supremacy. In us, our feelings of Lord being supreme is far greater than our spontaneous affection for him. So, yeah. So that spontaneous affection cannot be copied or imitated or prematurely practiced. So we begin with Vaidhi Sadhana Bhakti, where we treat the Lord as a master and ourselves as a servant, and we keep on doing it. As we go beyond the stage of Anarthana Vritti and Nishtha and Ruchi. So in Asakti stage, the Raga starts. The Ruchi and Asakti stage, the Raga Bhakti starts, Raga Naga Bhakti starts. There, one feels a spontaneous affection to Krishna in that stage. So then Bhava and Prema Bhakti can be practiced further. So therefore we have to approach Lord in a very reverential mood. We should see the deities like Lakshmi Narayan, Prabhupada said. That's how we should treat them, like Master, Swami and Swamini, in that mode, yeah. But Yashoda and all are there in Ragatmika, we call it in the spiritual world. So in there, that devotion is completely pure and spontaneous. It doesn't have even a tinge of reverence in that. Even Kunti had great reverence. And Devaki had a mixture of reverence and spontaneity. And Yashoda had only spontaneity, spontaneous devotion. So these are the 3 levels: Kunti, Devaki, Yashoda. Kunti, only reverential admiration. And Devaki is reverential admiration and spontaneous affection. And Yashoda is only spontaneous affection. Like that, yeah. Yashoda sees only with pure love. She treats Krishna as a baby only. Whereas Devaki treats him sometimes as baby, sometimes as Lord.
Because we have that we sometimes induce her.
Yeah, correct.
Lord Krishna has to induce.
Yes. Motherly feelings in her. Correct. And in Kunti, she only sees him as God. Yeah. Thank you. Anybody else? Yes, Madhya. Yeah. Correct. Yeah, correct.
It seems that the people have pneumonia.
They might have pictures, correct. Yes.
Practitionable in months.
Okay. Correct. Actually, amongst generally what happens with us, we generally think if somebody is humble, they are devotee, we think. Or somebody is little opposing our presentation, we generally tend to think that they must be demoniac, like that we think. Actually, these are all superficial considerations. The real consideration of who is a demon or a devotee is one who accepts authority of God, one who does not accept authority of God. That's the only thing. Yeah. For example, Prabhupada came across many people who were apparently arrogant in the beginning, but they became very great devotees later. On the other hand, even salesmen are very humble. Salesmen, because their goal is to promote their product. They are not devotees. For the sake of selling a product, they will do all kinds of drama. They will do. But when you tell him to chant Hare Krishna, they will not chant one round. So that humility is good for nothing, humility. And I have met many people who behave very nicely, but when it comes to God, they will say, I don't believe in God, they will say. So therefore, we have to check people. If somebody says that I accept an authority, but I don't know whether God is personal or impersonal, that means they are good candidates for learning further. But if somebody has no faith in God or no interest in God, then they're demons only. Right now. And also sometimes in Kali Yuga, even good souls get covered over. So therefore, we should not dismiss anybody. We should see everybody as a potential devotee and then try to preach to them. But even after preaching to them a little bit, we find that they are becoming more and more demoniac. They are critical and ridiculing and all that. Then we leave them. Yeah. Otherwise, if there's a possibility of them becoming devotee, we should help them out. Those who come inside the temple, they are the best people. Like yesterday, I was giving to a group of youths. Such amazing boys and girls came and sat through the whole session and asked questions to Prasad and went. These are like the ready-made devotees. We have to cultivate them. Very important. Because Krishna says that those who come to see me in my temple, there are 4 categories. Artho, Jignasu, Artharthi, Jnani, those 4 people. So these are like VVIPs for us to cultivate. On their own, they are coming. So not ordinary. Most of these boys, girls have gone to the Google search and found out where is the nearest Krishna temple, and they have come here. So Prabhupada would very much warmly treat them, give them prasad, sit with them and talk to them and give them a chance to become more serious devotees. Yeah. Now we have exceeded the time. Thank you. Srila Prabhupada ki, Sarva Bhakta Vrinda ki. Bhakta Vrinda ki.